What's good, YouTube? It's Nas, and we back with another video. Road to 300 subscribers, of course. We're gonna keep posting every day, but today I was reminded when I posted on a fucking snippet of the video, the Jamal Crawford versus Will Williams video. I forgot a six man, and who's really the best six man of all time? And Manu Ginobili. And Manu Ginobili was this starter caliber player. He was an all-star before, and he still chose to come off the bench, which he was great at coming off the bench. He played his role, but Manu Ginobili would start on 30 out of 30 teams at that time, and he chose to come off the bench for a powerhouse Spurs team. And let's just get into it, because if y'all know basketball, and if y'all here, y'all should know who Manu Ginobili is. But in his rookie season, if you didn't know, Manu Ginobili averaged 7.5 points per game, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists, averaging 20 minutes per game. He played 69 games. Popovich didn't really trust him at that point, and I can't see why, but you could, because Manu Ginobili came into the game showing flashiness, this European flashiness that really the NBA hadn't seen yet. Really, him and D Wade are the pioneers of the Euro step, because I'm pretty sure in the highlights right now you're gonna see Manu Ginobili Euro stepping up a couple times and catching niggas with that shit. And Manu Ginobili had this killer first step. Once he gets past you, he's going to the rim, and he might punch it on you, and he might finesse you and lay the pole up. And Manu Ginobili had this sneaky athleticism, as we seen when he got older and he dunked on James Harden. But in his second season, in the 2003-2004 season, Manu averaged 13 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 3.5 assists. Basically 4, if you want to round it out. But we're going to see that his stats continue to get better. He's continuing to improve every time his minutes go up. In his third season, he averaged 16 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 4 assists. Like I said, you see the steady growth in his stats, and he was doing all of this coming off the bench. Like, Popovich had to realize that Popovich had to talk with Manu, and Manu was fine with it, because Manu is a winner at heart, and he wants to win. Even with him coming off the bench, he was still putting up what he had to do, and he was still sacrificing his numbers for the better of the team while still getting better numbers. Because Manu Ginobili could have averaged 25 in his prime, but he only averaged 19. But in his fourth season in the NBA, in the 2005-2006 season, he averaged 15 points, 3.5 rebounds, 3.5 assists. The stats went down. 2006-2007 season, they won a ring, and he averaged 16.5 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, 3.5 assists. I'm pretty sure he was on the... Nah, he wasn't on that team. I was about to say the 0-2 Spurs won the ring, if I can remember correctly. No. Wait, what season did they win? I'm pretty sure it was 04-05. Yeah. So Manu was on that team when he averaged 16. That's what I was talking about. But in the 06-07 season, he averaged 16.5 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, and 3.5 assists. It went against the Cavs, and Tony Parker took a Finals MVP. I did a Tony Parker versus Rajon Rondo video by himself, but I could really make a Tony Parker video because Tony was special too. That Spurs team, that talent of that big three was just so special, because obviously Manu Ginobili is gonna... I feel like nowadays Manu Ginobili is talked about less than Tony Parker and Tim Duncan, and I feel like at the moment Manu Ginobili was talked about like same high regard as Tim Duncan, not as high, but not too shabby. Because in the 08-09 season, Manu averaged 15.5 points. 07-08 season, he averaged 19.5 points per game, 4.5, basically 5 rebounds and 4.5 assists. His highest scoring season of his career, and this was his best season. I'm pretty sure this was when he made the All-Star team, because none of his stats really come to sum up the way this season does. But in the 08-09 season, Manu averaged 15.5 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, and 3.5 assists. Again, staying on the steady improvement. In the 2009-2010 season, he averaged 16.5 points per game, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists. In the 2010-2011 season, Manu averaged 17.5 points per game, 3.5 rebounds, and 5 assists. The minutes are still at 30 per game at this time, because the last couple seasons, they averaged 30, 28, 26, 20, 31, 27.5, 27, 29, 29, 20. He's putting up these stats that players with 35 plus minutes are not even putting up, which is crazy to me. In the 11-12 season, he ended up getting injured. He only played 34 games, and he averaged 13 points, 3.5 rebounds, and 4 assists. The minutes went down to 23, and it would really stay that way for the rest of his career. He wouldn't go back up to 30 for some reason, but he was still productive in the 2012-2013 season. He came back. He averaged basically 12 points, 3.5 rebounds, and 4.5 assists, 23 minutes per game. Like I said, it's not being the same minutes that it once was, but he put up one hell of a peak in his prime, I guess. In the 2013-14 season, when the Spurs came back to glory, he averaged 12 points, 3 rebounds, and 4.5 assists. And he was a key part of that Spurs team with young Kawhi Leonard, older Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Manu, obviously, Danny Green, who was the starter at that time. Danny Green was starting over Manu Ginobili, which in 2K, I used to start Manu Ginobili over Danny Green. I'm not going to lie, but Manu put in work. That, like, these stats are not going to say all that he was doing. Like, because like I said, I described Manu's game when I first started the video, but there's just not enough words I could say to praise Manu Ginobili, if that makes sense. But in the 2014-15 season, Manu averaged 10.5 points per game, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists. In the 2015-16 season, Manu averaged 9.5 points per game, 2.5 rebounds, and 3 assists. You could tell that we're getting closer to the end because the minutes are starting to go down because he only averaged 19.5, and he only played 58 games this season. In the 2016-17 season, Manu averaged 7.5 points per game, 2 rebounds, 2.5 assists. And what I remember from this season, where it could be the next season, his last season in the NBA, he averaged 9 points, 2 rebounds, and 2.5 assists. He played till he literally couldn't anymore, but he was old as hell in the NBA. I remember because the niggas used to laugh about him being one of the oldest players in the league, and he was still moving shifty, and he was still getting up there. He caught a dunk on James Harden. I'm pretty sure he caught a dunk on James Harden, and he blocked his shot for the win, which was a clutch shot. It's probably in these highlights playing right now if I could find a full video of his young days and his older days. But Manu did whatever it took to win. Like, oh man. But Manu Ginobili's accolades speak for themselves. He's a 4-time NBA champion. He was a 2-time All-Star. He was the 2008 Sixth Man of the Year. He won a gold medal for his team. He was a 2-time EuroLeague final scorer, 2-time Italian League MVP. That really doesn't matter, bro. I'm gonna keep it a buck. But Manu Ginobili is not just one of the best six men of all time. He's one of the best shooting guards of all time too. And he was All NBA third team in 2008 and 2011 when he was coming off the bench. And obviously his number 20 jersey is retired by the Spurs, and he's in the Hall of Fame, being one of the only 6 men in the Hall of Fame, I feel like. Or I think so. Y'all can let me know. Y'all can clarify me down below. But let me know how you feel about Manu Ginobili down below. Subscribe. I hope you enjoyed. I got some videos right here. If you enjoyed this video you just watched, video on the right and video on the left, and click on it.